Hey, Coach Sean, I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but you are so faint. I can barely hear you. Before we get in our discussion, we might need to do some audio updates. It's still really low. I can hear Levi like there's no tomorrow, but I cannot hear you.
Yeah,
And
me too.
Donna's saying the same. We're getting feedback from our group. You're really light as well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have some audio difficulties right now, so please be patient with us while we troubleshoot the difficulties. You're welcome. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, Deb says can't hear
All right, I
Sean.
think it's good. Testing. Okay, yeah, it's good.
Testing. Can you hear me, guys?
You're still pretty faint.
Mic check 1, 2.
Mic check. Mic check.
No, I got it. I got it.
Oh,
Hold on.
dang, that's a lot of mics.
Are we live on IG yet?
Okay, that was much better. I could hear that laugh.
Well, Tamara just makes us jump to the speakers.
I think the audio has been corrected.
You can hear me well?
Absolutely, 100%.
All right, guys, welcome again to another episode of Dr. Reese Live. I am your host, Coach Sean, and tonight is episode 130.
All right.
We're here. We're out here, as my generation says. Of course, we are joined by Coach Karen in the members room. Thank you. And Coach Tamra in the socials. And we'll have special guests. Should we mention the special guest again?
No.
No, we won't mention them. And we'll have a special guest tonight talking about a special topic. This is going to be a pretty serious one, right?
I guess.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a monster, right?
Yeah, it's a monster.
So, nonetheless, can't forget about our doc, Dr. Kevin Reese. How are you doing tonight?
Good, man. Happy that the Red Book is making waves. It's sold more than the other books
Wow.
in their first weeks. So the Red Book is doing well, and a lot of people are posting pictures with it on social media, and so yeah, let that Red Book circulate.
Mm-hmm.
Let that Red Book circulate. Thank you to everyone that's bought a copy, or 5 copies, or 10 copies. And yeah, doing well.
Yeah.
And there's only a week left of the year they call 2024. That's somebody informed me of that. And that means
Oh, yeah.
our membership is $55 for one more week.
One more week.
That's it. And then it doubles. And we let it ride for a while. I mean, it was supposed to change months ago, but we let it ride. So for anyone that's interested in joining the movement, get your analysis. If you get the analysis before 2025, you will be
Yeah.
okay to get in the membership at the reduced cost.
Because it takes time. All you got to do is submit your spot. It's kind of like a pre-order.
Yeah, absolutely. Get that analysis. Call drreese.com.
But still, going into the next year, the membership is definitely upgrading. A lot of new content, a lot of classes being added.
2 new classes,
It's crazy.
Saturdays and Sundays. But we added Ryan Alexander as well.
Mm-hmm.
And we just added a brand new rescue course for the hands.
Oh, yeah.
So hand rescue is up. So now we got hand rescue with the foot rescue.
Rescue.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Man, it's packed.
Brain rescue.
Brain rescue, pet rescue.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So I kind of already excited to get into the topic for today. If you have no other announcements, okay.
Hold on, hold on.
Hold on.
Wait, hold on. I just wanted to piggyback on the $55 a month membership thing.
Okay.
Please do.
You may not realize this, so if you get in and you get your analysis before the end of the month and reserve your spot to join membership at $55 a month, that means you're grandfathered in. So when we increase rates next month on January 1st, that won't affect you. That means I don't know, you're set. You're set at 55 a month as long as you keep your membership current. So, and also anybody that's already in the membership, it's $55 a month, and it's not going to increase for you unless you drop out and then you decide to come back again. So I just wanted to make sure people were aware of that, because I get a lot of questions from individuals. Actually, I had one this week where somebody was thinking that we were still charging what we did a long time ago, like thousands of dollars for the 120 program, but we are not doing that any longer. It's 55 a month. It's a steal of a deal. So I just had to throw that in there before we changed topics.
Thank you, Karen. That was that was beautiful. Thank you. Now, can we get into the topic? So, this topic is
It's very Grinchy.
Grinchy. Say the little monster.
Yeah.
A sea monster.
The sea monster. Yeah.
So,
Let's start out with why it's called the sea monster. How about
where
that?
did it get its name? Where did you get this moniker, the sea monster, from?
Well, it just dawned on me that it's promoted like a monster.
Yeah.
And because of that, everyone's scared of it. And then on top of it, the C is a double meaning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you think of the letter C,
Yeah.
but also SEA, right? C. So you think about the movie Jaws, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're looking for the monster, which is a shark in this case. They go fishing for the monster. That's what they did at the last quarter of the movie. That's what the medical monopoly does. They're always fishing for the monster because the monster makes so much money.
Mm.
And so the people have been programmed to be scared of something. And because you're scared to get it, the narrative is you have to be checked over and over and over and over and over again. Hence, fishing for the monster. And so I break all this down in the Red Book, even down to the different types of sea monsters, and how it's typically over-tested. It is over-tested. And if it's over-tested, that means it's going to be over-diagnosed. And if it's over-diagnosed, it means it's going to be over-treated. It's 3 overs right there. But people don't want to hear this because they're so scared of it. Petrified of it.
Should people be scared? Well, they're just living, let's say someone's living a normal life, not on any protocols or anything like that. And it's like, how would they know? And it could be in their body, and like, what should they do about it? Like, if they don't know if they have the sea monster without testing, is it something they should be worried about?
It's all about symptoms.
Yeah.
It's all about symptoms. It's like, do you have symptoms? And that's the problem with the medical monopoly. They go fishing for it And they don't care if you have symptoms. They're going to go fishing for it regardless.
Yeah.
It's mammograms, colonoscopies, prostate exams. It's just constant. So they're putting people in a state of fear. You know, somebody gets they pass the test, right? And they walk out to their car and they're like, all right, I don't got it. Oh, I got to get tested next year again. It's like, it makes no sense. If you understand what the sea monster really is, you'll know that it makes no sense. And what is it? It's free radical damage. Yeah. It's free radical damage that creates cellular mutations. So where do the free radicals come from? Well, it starts with the poor four foods, right? Mm-hmm. Gluten, oils, fried and fake. Gluten, oil, fried and fake. Gluten, oil, fried and fake. And then there's the poor four toxins, right? Plastics, pesticides, metals, and mold. There's probably a few more too, but these are the things that come into our body and messes up our cells. But then your body is supposed to neutralize it. It's supposed to take care of it. It's just no different than a cold. It takes care of a cold.
So a healthy body can have a sea monster?
Yeah.
It just knows
kind
how to
of,
get rid
yes.
of it.
Yes. Somebody could have the sea monster right now and not know it. And will never know it because it'll go away in a few months.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what I just said is so controversial. Oh my gosh. Too bad the haters and debaters don't watch this show.
Yeah.
They refuse. They refuse. They refuse to watch the show. They refuse to go to the website. They refuse to look at the testimonies. They refuse to watch the 10-minute videos. No. They watch the 1-minute videos and they go crazy. They go nuts.
Why didn't you give us the protocol?
Yeah. So, you know, that's what it is. It's free radicals entering the body, creating free radical damage, otherwise known as oxidative stress. Mm-hmm. 2 names, same thing. And the cells mutate. Sometimes the sea monster gets out of control and grows. Sometimes it doesn't. But the medical monopoly, they don't care. Because to them, the sea monster is a sea monster. It doesn't matter what type of sea monster. It doesn't matter. They're going to either cut it out or nuke it with a bomb.
Mm-hmm. It's a shame.
So that's, in a lot of cases, I'm not going to say every case, but a lot of cases, it's an over-treatment process. I'll share a story with you, because this just happened. One of my good friends contacted me, I want to say about 12 weeks ago. It's 3 months. He said, oh, man, my best friend's got the sea monster. Yeah, it's a shame, Kev. You know, he's our age, he's 40, blah, blah, blah. What should I do? I'm like, man, it's a whole lifestyle change. What do you mean, what should you do? I'm like, is it worth me telling you what to do? First of all, I'm not talking to the guy. I'm talking to the middleman. Mm-hmm. And second of all, I'm like, is this guy even willing to change? Because most people aren't. Most people are so petrified that they just walk down the path that the medical monopoly pushes them down towards. Guess what he did? He walked down the path. So my buddy contacted me yesterday and said, hey, I'm driving to my friend's house today to say goodbye for the last time.
Wow. That quick.
Because this guy's going to die any day now. 12 weeks. And still, people continuously walk down this dark path. They continuously just listen to the white coats when the white coats have no clue. Because we've been brainwashed. to believe them. Now, I lay all this out in my red book. The red book explains all this very clearly. But if you're practicing head to toe healing, you're protecting yourself. You're more than likely going to rescue yourself from something, and then you're going to protect yourself. Because, as I always say, healing is a process. It's a verb. So you constantly want to be healing. Another word for healing could be regenerating. So if you're practicing head to toe healing, and I'm practicing head to toe healing, and Karen's practicing head to toe healing, and our beautiful members are practicing head to toe healing, then your body is constantly regenerating. But if you're not practicing head to toe healing, you are now susceptible to the sea monster or heart disease or whatever other chronic thing that can happen. So you always want to be healing. Verb, healing. So I think we have Ryan Alexander here. Ryan, do you want to come on and join the conversation?
Hey, guys.
Hey, man.
Hey there. So we're currently working on a sea monster rescue inside the membership, and we'll have that somewhere in the next month probably. But, you in your nutrition career, you've seen a lot of people come by with the sea monster. What do you think is the biggest thing that holds people up from trying to change?
I think the most difficult thing for people when they're first diagnosed is that they have so much information in both ears. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4 doctors all telling them something, pushing them in one direction. They've got family members and friends. They've got a bunch of people from the internet like us giving them other information. And a lot of them kind of get stuck like the deer in the headlights, stuck in indecision. And unfortunately, a lot of them do just go the doctor route because that tends to be where more pressure is heading, right? Their doctors, their family, their friends, everyone's saying, just listen to the doctor and do it. And that's what I think the biggest challenge is for them, is the peer pressure, basically. Unless you're already a believer in what we're talking about here today, it's very unlikely that you're actually going to go down this route because, like you said, it's a lifestyle change. I like to put it as a 2-year commitment.
Yeah.
Even though I've seen several people, I talked to a woman last week, her husband was declared cancer-free in like a month. He did a surgery on his tongue cancer. And they said, okay, you're cancer-free. But she and him are smart, so they're actually going to continue going hardcore on nutrition and all kinds of other things for the next 2 years, even though he's been considered cancer-free. A lot of people would just stop there, right? Oh, the tumor's not growing anymore, or the first sign that it's receding from whatever therapy they did. Okay, I'm good. I'm in the clear. But no, the lifestyle should be continued forever. And the hardcore going overboard on nutrition, going overboard on mindfulness and avoiding EMF. And there's a long, long list of things that you could do. That should be conducted for at least 2 years. It's a 2-year process to be in the clear. It's like when you swing the bat at the baseball, you keep swinging, right? You got to follow through. Or the golf club, you got to follow through. It's the same with anything that you're doing here. And it just takes a ton of commitment to do this in the first place. And it takes even more commitment to continue doing it.
Yeah. And most people don't want to, they don't want to go the natural route because the white coats scared the snot out of them. Mm-hmm. I had a lady, I wrote about this in the Red Book just a few years ago. She was watching the live streams and watching the videos, and she was all about us, and she's like, oh, Dr. Reese, I believe everything you say. This is amazing, blah, blah, blah. And then one day she got diagnosed with a tumor on her kidney. And she's like, what do you think I should do? And I'm like, well, look at your analysis. This is out of alignment. This is, this, you got this deficiency. Like it's right there in front of you. So, you need head to toe healing, She chose the medical route because she was scared. they scared her in. So this woman is no longer with us. She died in 5 months. And
Yeah.
it's, you know, it's like, and, you know, I don't want to minimize the decision because, I mean, what a decision someone has to make. I mean, it's just a bad situation to be in. But, you know, look at the statistics. Ask around. Ask around. What are the rates? Do you even know the rates, Ryan? I know Dr. Glidden used to give the rates. Man, it's like, it's got to be 50-50 at least.
Like the success
people
rate.
making it 5-10 years after treatment.
Well, a lot of those numbers are really hard to trust as well. There's lots of fudging of numbers that go on, especially with the trials themselves. You know, the healthier people are put into the higher dose groups because they're more likely to survive. You know, people who don't tolerate the doses, whether it's high or low, are taken out of the trials because they can't tolerate it and they're not left in the data sets at the end. There's so much data manipulation that it's hard to tell. But what I can tell definitely from my years doing this is the few people that we get that are 100% not doing conventional, all of those tend to do a lot better. We get a lot of people who have already done chemo or radiation or both, or they do them both at the same time with nutrition and stuff, and the results are definitely not as good. Those aren't double-blind studies, obviously, it's just observation, but I know anyone who's doing the chemotherapy radiation route, it's going to be harder. It's going to be harder, and they should go even more hardcore on the nutrition and everything else. There's so many other alternative things that they could do. They should get the test, see if they got heavy metals in them. They should get their root canals pulled out and dental fillings pulled out and do chelation therapy if necessary. It's a long and expensive list as well.
Make sure there's no mold in your house. I mean,
Yeah.
it's EMF, as you said, you know, getting enough antioxidants, you know, getting off the poor for foods. There's so much that they could be doing.
Ryan, I wanted to ask, basically, when you're dealing with someone that, you know, comes in with this case, usually, do you feel like it's always the family that has the influence over the decisions of what the people are going through?
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
Not always. You know, we speak with a lot of older people, of course. The older you get, the more likely the sea monster becomes. And quite a few of those people do live alone, or, you know, they're in charge of. Yeah, still, even then, kids can come in and brothers and sisters, and family is a huge, huge, huge part of it. It definitely is. And they have good intentions, right? We have to realize that. Your uncle or cousin or whoever, wife, loves you, and they want you to do the best, and all they know is the medical monopoly, right? That, like Dr. Reese says, that's all they've ever seen on TV. The heroes, emergency room, saving lives, trust the doctor. Your family's going to be pushing you to do that. I do think that's the primary, at least the most immediate pressure there. But then, of course, you've also same indoctrination that even when you know this stuff, even when you're on the alternative, you know, or at least the imagination goes back to the emergency room. Right? It always goes back to the emergency room because that's what we've ever seen is the heroic emergency room. And so even those of us on this side of the fence, I'm sure, have some level of faith in that white coat. And it can be tough to break that fully to the point where, you know, you got diagnosed with cancer and you decide to walk away from them.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard to walk away too. They'll call you. Like,
No, one of my buddies, you know, he just went in. His wife gave birth, and she found a lump in her armpit area, and so naturally they went in for an ultrasound, just to make sure, right? And they're like, "Yeah, come in for the ultrasound." And while they were there, like, "All right, let's do a mammogram." And he's like, "Whoa, you said nothing about a mammogram on the phone." And they're like, "Oh, well, we need to, you know, take the ultrasound and the mammogram and we need to compare it and this, that, and the other. And he's like, I don't know. I don't think mammograms are safe. And they're like, of course they're safe. We do them all the time. Blah, blah, blah. He's like, nah. So he refused. As an advocate for his wife, he refused. They went home. 2 days later, a package showed up at the door. They had to sign for it. And it was a letter, an official certified letter from the medical monopoly saying, please sign this so that you confirm that, you know, you're walking out on your own will because we don't know what's in that lump and this, that, and the other. Yeah, this is scary stuff. If you're not awake to what we're talking about, this is horrifying.
Yeah.
But what did people do 100 years ago? What, you know what I mean? What did they do 200 years ago, 300 years ago? You know, the rates just weren't that high. The rates didn't jump through the roof until the testing jumped through the roof.
Yeah. I believe it was like 19 from the start of the 1900s to the 1930s. It was like a 90 or in between that, give or take 90% jump of like sea monster rates.
Yeah. It's like people are on me right now for my colonoscopy video that's floating around.
Mm.
They're leaving comments underneath. This guy's crazy. This guy's nuts. Colonoscopy, saved my life. And how did it save your life? Oh, well, they found a, sea monster and a polyp. Okay. And? Well, how do you know that was going to spread? How do you know your body wasn't going to neutralize that in the next few months? How do you know? What are your symptoms? But people automatically, when they hear the sea monster, they're like, oh, what?
Yeah.
And so the context, the narrative is that the medical monopoly saved my life. Preventative medicine.
Yeah. Convince them that your body is weak and frail and falling apart as you age.
Thinking that the sea monster is the same, thinking that all sea monsters are the same, is like saying all dogs are the same. Is that golden retriever going to attack you? Or should you be afraid? Or should you be more afraid of the pit bull? Or the Cane Corso, You ever see a Cane Corso? Jeez Louise, those things are 200-something pounds. It's huge. But what I'm saying is, not all dogs are the same. Different temperaments. It's the same thing with the sea monster. They're not all the same. I'd be willing to bet that, they could even change the names probably. I mean, they'd lose money, but they could even change the names, Right now, they just got the stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4 thing. That's the system. So, if you have something that's creating symptoms and it's growing, okay. Now you have a big decision to make,
I think most people would want to do this lifestyle change, or that's why they go to the medical monopoly. It's like you get the reversal or you get treated and symptoms go away and then you go back to your normal lifestyle.
Right.
I don't think most people realize that what got you there is what's going to continue to get you there. Like it was a close friend. And I really did try to help her and get on the nutrients, but it was like, I think it was that Clark Kent effect that had, she didn't even want to do the analysis with me because she didn't want to tell me all the information. So that's when I knew it was kind of over. But over the years, she continued to get the same sea monster over and over again. And it was just hard to watch because they're just kind of taking more. She's just like losing her jaw. And like, I think the first one was breast sea monster. And it's just sad to watch, you know, because it's just like you don't see the pattern by now. It's like you're playing with fire, essentially. So I wish more people, and I hope more people through what we're offering can get the help they need and kind of get woken up, especially by your new book. I really do hope. I know it's making it to a lot of people's stocking stuffers this year, so that's cool. I did want to get Karen's opinion on this topic. I know she's always had something to say, and
Karen's like, it's Christmas Eve. We should be talking about gluten-free cookies.
No, this is a serious topic. We definitely need to do this because a lot of people are facing this, unfortunately. And thankfully for the Red Book, because that will open many people's eyes of alternatives. Because there's just so many people out there that don't know there are other options and they feel cornered into the system because they're afraid. And so it's wonderful that we can provide alternative options that may provide the body a better environment to start regenerating and doing what it needs to do, what it was designed to do. But one thing, I had a couple questions for you. I've had several calls in the last few weeks with parents and children, and their children are not doing well. Their bodies are not supported like they used to be, whether it be physically with posture or digestive issues and things like that. How can parents create an environment at home so that way they can prevent the odds of getting sea monster in their household, especially for their children, because their children are faced with so many different obstacles than when I was growing up. And probably you, Dr. Reese, too. What can they do?
Well, the first step is always get off the poor four, of course.
that's something you can do today.
Yes, get off the poor four foods, get off the poor four toxins. And, you know, do your best. You don't have to be super paranoid about it. Just do your best. I know people that are very paranoid about it. You know, don't want this, don't want that, careful of this, careful of that. Just, you know, do your best. You know, don't think about it. You know, don't think about it. You want positive thoughts. You want Santa Claus thoughts, not Michael Myers thoughts. So, yeah, you get your household to a place where it's as chemical free as possible. You know, because that's one of the things that's getting us is the chemicals.
Yeah.
You know, could be
Would you be repeating the 4 toxins? Somebody in our Zoom room was asking.
plastics, pesticides, mold, and metals. Heavy metals, to be exact. Non-plant derived. You know, some people got metals just right there in their teeth, just like Ryan was saying a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
You know? And so, you know, sometimes it's one thing, sometimes it's a perfect storm. But the body does, you know, fight, you know, it does its best to neutralize it. You know, that's why it's called antioxidants. Antioxidants. Oxidative stress. Free radical damage. If you just look at the language and it'll start making sense, and then you'll understand why you shouldn't be having olive oil. That's another video that's floating around right now where they're just beating me up with a bat. You know.
Crazy part is I can guarantee none of them have looked up how olive oil is made. And or just the process of what it takes to get olive oil from point A to your closet. Or do an experiment. Cut an olive open, put it in a bottle for a month, and then eat it since it's so good, since it's still so beneficial. It's going to be terrible. It's
All they've got to do is look up the contamination rates of olive oil, especially if they the rates are so bad that you should just not trust never trust a food company. I think that's just a good rule of thumb. Why would you ever trust a food company? They have nice labels, nice glass bottles. It looks fancy. Oh, it's from Italy. It must be good. They know they're selling the stuff to Americans. They don't care. I don't know if a lot of Americans know this, but the rest of the world doesn't like Americans very much. Oh, we're sending this product to America. If it comes from Turkey, and it says organic on it, it's probably not, because they don't care. Why would they care?
Best point of the night right there.
Yeah, that's true.
And this is a man from Canada, by the way.
When I travel around the world, I've been asked numerous times in a very serious way. They say, "You're not American, are you?" I've got to wear the little Canada flag. Honestly.
It's crazy.
Some Americans do that too. I know some Americans who wear the. I'm just saying that a lot of these other countries that are producing these things, how much coconut oil or whatever, or avocado oil is produced in America. Very little of it.
Yeah.
And a lot of the countries that are sending to America, they don't care. That's why the contamination rate could be 70%, 90%. It might as well be 100%.
Yeah, and olive oil is also very much, we'll use the word sponsored by a certain demographic of people that a lot of movies and TV shows have been made about. So, I mean...
And now they say the whole avocado industry is controlled by the Mexican cartels.
Yep.
And just
Wow.
South American cartels. The whole industry.
Yep.
Wow.
Pretty much.
Do you think they care about the contamination, right?
What'd you say, Karen?
I said, sounds like another rabbit hole for another day.
Oh yeah, so many.
This is why everyone needs to get the head to toe analysis so they can find out what's going on with their body. Right, Karen?
Absolutely. Oh, and you know what? We haven't mentioned this for a really long time. If somebody signs up to get an analysis and they book a call with us, we'll give you $100 off. We'll give you a coupon code. And we haven't told people that for a long time. And then they're kind of surprised when we do the calls. So there's no time like the present to get your analysis.
Yeah. Talk to us. We're here.
Yeah. We have some other questions in the Zoom room. One of our members, Felicia, was saying free radical damage causes brown spots on the skin. Will they disappear over time? Is that possible?
Yeah, we see it all the time. Age spots, they're called. They go away.
Just gotta load it up.
She was also saying she is a hairstylist and she's around chemicals. Although she uses non-fume organic products and works with conventional hairstylists, there's other ones in her salon that uses harsh products. She's also working against herself, even though she's now on the program. So it's kind of a give and a take for her. Let's see. She had a question here. I'm working against myself, even though I am now on the program. I only go 3 times a week. I avoid it as much as possible. Yeah, it's hard when you're in an environment that has toxic smells. And I mean, the same thing for people that work retail. When you go into a retail place that has all the perfumes or the lotions and potions and the candles, oh my gosh, you about pass out after you leave a place like that.
Yeah.
But what's worse, being exposed to that stuff and not being on an excellent nutrition program, or being exposed to them and being on an excellent nutrition program, right?
Right.
So
Right.
you're getting more protection no matter what.
I've got a question for you. There's somebody that I know, and they work for one of the fast food restaurants. I won't name them specifically, but they do, I don't know, have some arches. But anyway, so they work late and they're around deep fryers all day long, and they have a lot of symptoms. oh gosh, she just has tons of symptoms like, oh, I can't think of the word right now, but I'm just at a loss for what it is. But she has all kinds of symptoms. She aches and she has pains all the time. They almost think that she's developing a certain condition. But could it be that she's around these deep fried machines all the time and smelling all these fumes and causing her body to maybe break down?
That's interesting. Maybe. What do you think, Ryan? Can she be getting the fumes?
It was MS.
Well-
They were thinking she was developing MS symptoms.
Oh.
MS is basically a free radical disease. In essence, it's damaged tissue, neurotissue. But I think we should bring this back to the sea monster, the topic of the day here. And I read a lot of books about this, and they're currently blaming, mainstream world is currently blaming the increased rate of lung cancer in women on a lag time. They say that it's because women didn't start smoking until after men. So since both groups stopped smoking largely, we've seen massive decreases, especially since the 70s. There was a little bit of a peak in the 90s, but it's gone way down. But they say there's this lag time to it. And they say that since women got empowered, during the women's movement, they took up smoking at that time. And so now that lag has come along, and that's why they have an increase in lung cancer now. Yet, this never made sense because women always smoked less than men. Always, everywhere. Even women smokers smoke less than men smokers. So the numbers never added up there. And what Dr. Wallach has always said is it's because it's not being caused by the cigarettes. Largely, it's a part of it, sure. But why are women getting more lung cancer? And why do they have this peak all of a sudden? It's because they're the ones cooking. It's because they're the ones standing in front of the frying pan. And yes, those oils, if you can smell those oils, they're getting into your system.
There it is.
Anything that you can smell is getting into your system and taste it. And yeah, what did they stop using? They stopped using butter. They stopped using lard. And women are more likely to listen to their doctor than men. So of course, they're using margarine. They're using extra virgin olive oil.
Yep.
And they're frying. And they're working in kitchens too, but men work in kitchens too. But they're the ones that are largely cooking at home, and they're breathing that stuff in.
Yep. Not to mention that, like I mentioned earlier, the testing. The more testing, the more diagnosing.
Yeah.
So
Women do more testing. Yeah.
that's right.
Well, and once they start testing or they get you afraid, then they start wanting to push for the biopsy where they puncture the tumor.
Right.
Then if it was benign or if it was not, then it's going to open up Pandora's box and it's going to go everywhere.
That's right.
And if you're talking about MS, the second you go into a doctor with any symptom that's like MS or Parkinson or Alzheimer's, you got a little tiny tremor, your memory is failing you just a little bit, you're walking a little bit wobbly, just the tiniest of symptoms, 2-3 drugs that day.
Yep.
And then what do you think causes more symptoms, right? I like to say that doctors cause dementia because the biggest part of the puzzle to me is prescription drugs. And women are more likely to listen to doctors than men. And that's why women have like 3 or 4 times more MS than men.
And the thing is, like I wrote in the Red Book, these white coats are essentially forced to overdiagnose.
Yeah.
Because they don't want their malpractice insurance to go up. Because if somebody makes a claim, just a claim, even if they're not proven guilty, just one claim, it's like having a fender bender with your car. Your insurance is going to go up, even if it's not your fault. It's the same thing with the doctor's malpractice insurance. If you make a claim and you say, my doctor didn't test for this, this, and this, his insurance is going up. So what do? They overtest. They test for everything. You could go in. You could go in with a sore throat and walk away with sea monster of the kidney. They're gonna find something. They're gonna find something because they don't understand the human body. They're just looking for stuff. And there's no solution. So it's like if you ever want to know if you should get tested, go to the end result and reverse engineer it.
So on a lighter note, since this is Christmas Eve, I think we need to talk about hope because that's one thing that we offer. We give people options to give their bodies an environment to heal itself and give them the tools with our virtual learning membership. So if you or a family member or a friend is experiencing just kind of issues, what it could be something all the way to the sea monster, or it could be maybe you just don't feel right. The best place to start is an analysis with us. Give us a call, find out what the root causes are, and tune your body up in 2025. Give it a jump start, and we're here for you in a supportive environment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Call drreese.com.
I did want to piggyback and say that, like, if it's a particular individual who just doesn't know the dangers of being in a medical carousel, that this is why Dr. Reese created the Red Book. He said, it's not for the researchers, it's not for the people on our side, it's for the people that just don't get it yet and are slowly going down that dark path. So it's definitely advisable just to try and get the Medical Monopoly book. It's a short book, and it really does its job in telling the dangers before people actually experience the dangers, because he has stories of people that already went through that. You hear us talk about it all the time, but to have the stories there, I think, illustrates it in a way, because you can see all of these. Like, I have a whole thick packet on my little clipboard of different stories, and it's just like about, like, I would say 10, 12, a lot. And it's just a small clipboard, so imagine what's in the book. Karen, did you have any more questions from the people in the members room, or any comments from yourself?
Yeah, we've got a lot of activity in the Zoom room.
Oh.
Thankfully, Ryan has done a fantastic job supporting and answering a lot of their questions. We have only about 10 minutes left. It might be good to pop
Really?
over camera.
Yeah, time flies.
See if there's any questions on the socials first.
Okay, thank you so much.
Or comments.
I
prefer comments, actually, but
we'll see what Tamara has for us. Tamara?
I have a lot of people saying happy holidays, greetings, Merry Christmas. Let's see here. I have a member on the social media that's asking, I have a question about digestion. I'm not eating any of the poor four foods, but I'm still struggling digesting certain foods like beef or anything fatty, even if it's a good fat. Why would that be?
Oh, I mean, it could be a stomach acid issue, could be an enzyme issue. And we get people that come into the program who have trouble with that, and a few weeks later, they're fine.
Do you believe that also the sea monster could be parasites?
Oh, boy.
That's
I mean, there's people out there that think tumors are parasites. Ryan, what do you think?
I'm still on the fence about this myself, Dr. Reese. Parasites can actually look like tumors, so it's a possibility that a lot of things are actually misdiagnosed as cancer, but they're not. It's actually a parasite. But there's two camps that have been arguing about this for more than 50 years. We see a lot of these long-lived populations, like the Vilcabamba in Ecuador or other mountainous populations, and people think they're 100% healthy, but yet they have very high rates of parasites, and they have very, very low rates of cancer. So for all these people saying that, parasites are causing the sea monster, that's contradicting what we see in the populations who have the least amount of cancer, is that they have very high rates of parasites. So people have been speculating that the parasites and worms can actually be eating the tumor and eating other cell debris and stuff like that. I'm not saying parasites are good, but I mean, that's one big camp. And then the other camp is saying that both MS and sea monster and a bunch of other things, they say on autopsy, they always have parasites. And they're saying that this is causative. Like, okay, well, we find parasites in all these people with sea monster. And to me, I'm thinking, well, it's a diseased person. It's a sick body. It's an acidic body. Of course, that body is going to have parasites in it. Why wouldn't it?
Right.
We did hair analysis for years. We saw parasites in every single person except for 2 people. One of them was me. So, I mean, every single other person, whether they had symptoms of anything or not, had some kind of a parasite in them,
Yeah.
at least by our test. All that said to me was that they're unhealthy because most of those people, we take them through the steps, we fix the digestion, we get them on the 90 essential nutrients and so on. They come back later and do another test. They don't have any parasites anymore.
Yeah. And parasites are really a stomach acid problem for the most part, unless you're trekking through a jungle. Like it's just, I don't. Yeah, I mean, if you're going through the Amazon or you're in the jungle, you're in the forest a lot. I mean, you're definitely susceptible, because you can get a parasite besides eating something that might create it. Like, it can go through your nostril, it can go through your private parts, which is, yeah, makes you cringe. But I just don't think parasites are that big of a deal in a developed country.
Good point. Anything else, Tamara?
Yes, I have some people on social media. They're asking, you mentioned earlier about a red book. They're asking, what is the name of this book you're talking about? And what is it about?
Oh.
It's called Medical Monopoly, and you can get it at drkevinreese.com. It's about bad stuff. drkevinreese.com.
Okay. I have a comment from the member too. Hi, Tamara, I'm already doing enzymes and my stomach acid is not low. I really need to figure out how to get to the bottom of this.
Get the bottom of what?
His digestive issues.
Oh.
Asking again.
Well, a head-to-toe analysis.
He's already had one.
What's the issue?
He's having issues with digesting fats, and like beef and fats. I think he had mentioned avocado as well.
You said he is taking the enzymes?
Yes, that's what he just said.
Are enzymes with bile in it?
I don't know if he's doing our enzymes. I know he's newer. I'm not sure if he's had his order come in yet.
Make sure the enzymes have bile in it. That's step 1.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say step 2, you got intestines there. Do you have soft tissue deficiencies? Is the intestines sturdy? Are they loosey-goosey?
Mm-hmm.
There's digestion is complicated. There's so many different aspects to it. It's not just stomach acid, but.
Yeah.
Make sure he knows he can join my nutrition class on January 5th, and we can discuss it. It's kind of there largely for tough cases and helping people optimize things. Digestion is usually easy to fix. That's why we speak so casually about it. But some cases can be more difficult, and we can help them with that.
Okay, Mark, you hear that? Show up for the nutrition class that we have starting soon. When does it start? January 1st?
January 5th.
Is he a member? He's not in the Zoom room, right?
He's a member. He's in the socials right now.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Get in the Zoom room, man. You're in the wrong place.
Yeah.
You're in the wrong room. You're in the basement, man. These people on social media, they're the basement.
Oh man.
No offense, but you're not. You haven't come upstairs yet. You're just not ready.
I have another question regarding, I guess, sea monster. So someone's asking about fruit diets. Some people think that eating only fruits works for a while. Is that true? Or especially in sea monster cases?
Fruit fasting can be effective. I mean, you're going to lose some nutrition, so you have to be supplementing. And I wouldn't do fruit fasting for very long, a few months. But, it just depends. I wouldn't necessarily put it in my sea monster protocol, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And how much protein do we need? It's a question that keeps coming up a lot.
1,000,000 grams a day.
1,000,000 grams.
Wow.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, some people say at least 40 a day. Some people say at least 100 a day. I think, 70, 80 a day is fine.
Okay. Can bone on bone be fixed with nutrition?
No. It can be fixed with head to toe healing. Nutrition is only 1/3 of head to toe healing.
And someone's asking, how does vitamin and minerals help with pain? Can I fix it can I fix stuff like bad joints or back pain?
No. You can fix it with head to toe healing. Nutrition is only 1/3.
And can your membership help those who are in pain from a major injury?
Absolutely. Go to drkevinreese.com and look at the case studies. Watch other people.
And someone's asking what is the biggest success story you've seen from someone who followed your methods to get rid of pain?
I don't know about the biggest. I mean, there's so many.
One that stands out?
Anyone who's in pain matters.
Yeah.
It's hard to rank them.
Yeah.
Like someone who was in the most pain, who got the most result. Anyone in pain, it's like it's life ruining. I grew up in pain. We've seen so many people, countless people, get out of pain.
Yeah, our most dramatic testimony on camera is probably Kim Wiggins, because she was pregnant and they said she was going to die in 3 months. And her child is now going into middle school.
It's pretty cool.
So that's our most dramatic one. But you can't really rank them. But that one's dramatic because you got a kid involved, you got pregnancy. It's you can make a movie out of it. But I mean, people are getting out of pain every day doing head to toe healing, and it's all recorded and it's all on drkevinreese.com. So I would just throw the question back to this person and say, go on the website, watch all the case studies.
See for yourself.
You spend 6 hours watching all the videos, and then you report to us what's number one to you.
Yeah. Really quick, we got 2 minutes till. I wanted to do another round to Coach Karen to see if there was any other questions from our members. And
Sure. One quick thing I wanted to ask: how does mindfulness play in the sea monster role?
Oh my gosh! I mean,
yeah,
there's a computer in our skull. It's connected to the spine. The spine then shoots out to the rest of the body. So if you have negative thoughts and you have negative feelings, then it can affect your cells, on a vibrational level. And so that's why it's 1/3. 1/3, 1/3, 1/3.
Yeah, I remember when I was sick, and at one point I was kind of like breaking down. It was at my doctor's. I was in between the doctors and such, and that was the first doctor. He passed away though, but that was the first doctor that looked at me and said, "You have sick brain. You're in the mindset of sickness," and that's actually what led me to you, because I was like, maybe I need to actually do things to focus on my head. Get out of like sick mentality.
Headspace.
Yeah. Because it's a real thing. You treat yourself like you're sick. You're like, oh, I can't do that. I'm sick.
Dude,
I have this.
it's my favorite topic. I'm so glad Ryan's here because he can do all the nutrition crap. Who cares? Take it. I want to talk about mindfulness all day.
Yeah.
Because the mind is fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
It's fascinating, and it's obsessive. So whatever it becomes obsessive with, it's going to stick to.
Yeah.
If you're in love, you're falling in love with someone, you're going to think about them all the time. If you're sick, you're going to think about it all the time. If you have a parent that's dying or something, you're going to think about it all the time. It's just the mind, which is really the inner child, right?
Mm-hmm.
The subconscious mind, the inner child, it's going to fixate on these things, and it's going to hit you with automatic thoughts. Ants. Automatic negative thoughts sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Or apps. Automatic positive thoughts. You got Santa Claus, you got Michael Myers. But you need to realize that you are not your thoughts. And it's just a computer running programming.
Mm-hmm.
So it's another topic for another time. And certainly there's plenty of videos out there on this that we've already done. But I could talk about it all day. I'm going to write a book on it.
So I just real quick, technically you're saying that thoughts are the cause of all your suffering, essentially.
Well, it's a cause of your mental suffering.
Yeah. And so you being able to control them, or are you controlling them, or what are you doing?
You can't control your thoughts. You can for a short time.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you wanted to do like a manifestation thing, but after a minute or two, it's going to... So you can't control your thoughts, but you can console your thoughts. And that's where the inner child work comes in.
Interesting.
And then you reprogram.
That's in the curriculum?
Yeah, it's in the 120.
You heard it. It's 1/3 of the stool.
1/3, 1/3, 1/3. Nutrition, posture, mindfulness. That's it. That's the answer. That's head to toe healing. Those are the 3 aspects of head to toe healing.
Every part of it is connected.
It's all connected.
Interesting. Well, do we have any final comments, questions, anything along those lines from our members, Coach Karen?
We have a lot of comments that
Oh.
would probably take up another hour. So one comment that came in really early on was somebody was asking about gene mutations like MTHFR gene and how that affects the process of healing. Any words on that?
That can be a whole topic.
Yeah, that can be a whole topic, man. Ryan, you want to put 1 minute on that?
Real quick.
Oh, yeah?
Ryan, you want to give 1 minute?
What was the question again? Sorry, I was answering somebody in the comments.
Gene mutation.
Oh, gene mutation.
MTHFR.
Oh, yeah, I forget this all the time. I read that earlier because I didn't know if you were going to answer it. MTHFR. Everybody's got to remember that this is a new thing. This is a new fad. So those of us who have been doing this, 10 years or longer, whatever, it never mattered to us before. And it doesn't matter to me now.
Yeah.
We do use methylated vitamins, but I think everybody's got to understand that these people, you're probably seeing 1 minute clips here. There's more to it. Some people can't actually tolerate methylated vitamins. It's not that common, but I've seen it quite a few times now. So when people are saying it's got to be methylated, your B vitamins, they have to be methylated. Some of them even go as far as to say they're toxic if they're not methylated. Absolutely no evidence of that. It's complete nonsense. When we're talking about results, it doesn't matter. Some people can't tolerate methylated vitamins. We use methylated vitamins anyways. So in that case, it also doesn't matter. Because if you're on our program, you're going to be getting methylated vitamins except for a couple of odd products. And I'll bet you won't react to them. Because we didn't even know about the MTHFR until recently. And people weren't getting it measured until recently. So we've had thousands and thousands of people on these products. We don't expect it to matter at all. And it's the same thing with like BRCA1, BRCA2, genes for breast, sea monster. We don't care. We don't care.
Right.
Your genes are modulated by your nutrition, by your environment, by your mind, by everything else that's going around you. None of this matters.
Yeah, there's also one for Alzheimer's that's real popular now too. Yeah.
I mean, what I've noticed is all of those people have some sort of gut issue. Or not sort of gut issue. It's like an immense, like a huge gut issue. And it's like, you can't absorb them because your gut is messed up.
Right.
There's nothing to do with your genes. But it's kind of hard to tell because as Ryan said, it's like a fad now and it's people obsess over it. But
It's a cash cow.
oh my gosh.
Your destiny is not determined by your genes. Your eye color is. That's it.
That's right. I always say my dad was 6'1", my mom's 4'11", I came out 5'9". That's genetics.
Yeah.
I'm right in the middle of mom and dad, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, genetics. If you aren't born with it, it's not yours. That's what I say. If you didn't have fibromyalgia at 2 years old, it's not yours. If you get it at 40 years old, it's not yours. You just have to reverse it and get rid of it.
You do it here. Well, thank you guys. Thank for everybody tuning in on the 24th. We appreciate you guys. It's a large amount of people that came out, and I'm hoping that you felt some type of resonation with the topic of today, and you're able to help somebody, show this video or show the book, the Medical Monopoly book. It's what we've been talking about this whole time, or alluding to. Show people this, because people need to know it's a dark path and it's only getting worse by the years. And so we need to, if our government's not going to do it, then we need to all come together and start to pull people out of this burning building. And so with that, thank you guys for joining us tonight.
Give us a call.
Give us a call.
Call drreese.com. You can talk to Sean tonight.
Talk to me tomorrow.
Tonight. You could talk to Sean tonight. Call drreese.com.
I dare you. Nah. If you call, if you're able to find my number and call, I will get on the phone with you, because that's dedication. But thank you, everybody, again, and we'll see you next time.